Hi, I'm David Hayden.
I'm Steve George.
And between us, we don't like to think of how many years' experience we've got in learning and development.
And we're co-authors of the book Adjacent Learning,
which is all about using insights from outside of the organisation to develop workplace performance.
Adjacent learning is a mixture of what people can bring from outside work into work, so the things they do perhaps in hobbies or their voluntary work and how they apply that in the workplace, but also what we can bring into our work as learning and development professionals from other professions as well. So one example we use in the book, for example, is how Great Ormond Street Hospital learn how Formula One teams do pit stops very fast so that they can improve their efficiency around operations. And that's a fantastic example of adjacent learning.
And the challenge then with that is around how do we make sure stuff's relevant from that. So initially when you look at those two examples, they're very, very different worlds. So in the book we talk about the concept of filtering and making sure that we're distilling the right levels of information in order to help drive performance in workplaces. So
David, how can we make sure that those insights we're bringing from such a breadth of experience and professions are relevant?
Asking lots of questions around it. So thinking around, well, what's the context people are operating in? What is the overall end goal that they're trying to achieve? So if you take that Formula One example a step further, it's what they're trying to achieve is around processes being slick, everyone knowing what they're doing, a place for everything in its place. And it's then thinking, actually, if we're looking at those particular things, let's kind of see what examples we can get. So it's diving beneath the surface, which we talk about in the filtering stage, diving beneath the surface to really thinking what was that group of people or what was that profession really aiming to achieve. So Steve, in terms of value, what does that give to an organisation?
So the value it gives can be absolutely enormous. So in terms of as a learning and development function or as people managers, we quite often find that our budgets are squeezed and we're looking for how we can enhance our practice within the constraints of limited budgets. So rather than reinventing the wheel and going off and creating something completely new, we can learn from other professions. We also have vast untapped resource in our workforce. So in the book, for example, we've got stories of a guy who plays for an international touch rugby team, and he talks about how his resilience has been developed through the way he's managed injury, but also how he's coached people through rugby, and then how he applies that in his workplace. And one of the reasons I really like that example is he also talks about how he applies his workplace learning in his hobby as well.
And I guess that leads us to a range of diverse thoughts as well.
Absolutely, yeah. So we can be quite prone to thinking what we're doing as learning and development professionals is what an organisation needs, whereas really our subject matter experts in terms of what people need are our employees. So working with them around how we bring their expertise, their experience into learning can really help spread that diversity thinking.
Yeah.